Heads up! You are in the Hoodwood on UGAB Sports and YouTube. Coming up this week, Jason Kidd's power play lands him in Milwaukee. My thoughts on the U.S. team. Do they have a realistic chance of getting past the first round of the knockout stage? The first day of NBA free agency today. And if LeBron's big money power play might land him in less than ideal circumstances, who I think the best pitcher in baseball is today, bar none. All that plus plenty of stuff. That dapper head slap. All this week in the Hoodwood. Are you ready? Come on, let's go. Greetings from the Hoodwood, where the locals are already anticipating the arrival of Princess Katie. She'll be here just as soon as I can go up to the airport and get her on Tuesday. I'm your man KJ, and I start out this week talking about what most of the sports world outside the U.S. and even the U.S. is even talking about it still more. The World Cup, the knockout stage is here, and 16 teams are left, getting whittled down as fast as you can whittle down a piece of wood. Germany and Algeria played a thrilling game late Monday afternoon. It was decided in extra time, 2-1 final that the Germans were thankful to get by, as Algeria proved to be as tough customers as you would expect. And people wonder, do the U.S. really have a legitimate chance of making it past the first round of the knockout round? They face Belgium on Thursday. And getting a bit of good news with Josie Altidore slated to return from his hamstring pull, which he suffered in the first game against Ghana. I think that the U.S. has a better than a puncher's chance of at least getting a round deep. But once you get into the Elite Eight of the World Cup, that's when the heavyweight names come out. Brazil, Argentina, France, Germany, they're all lurking about. And this is not the time to come up with your C game or B game. Your A game may not be good enough for this. The U.S., they're basically living on other people's money now. No one expected them to get out of the group of death. With Ghana and Portugal and the Germans all sitting waiting for them, many people thought they were going to lose all three games. But they won one, lost one, and drew with Portugal. And now they're in the knockout stage. But the Belgian team that they face aren't a soft team. They compress the action, and the U.S. had best beware. They might be going home soon, even though U.S. head coach Jurgen Klinsmann said, don't pack your bags for anything short of the finals. He has designs on getting to the finals in Rio, but I think there's a Brazilian team and an Argentinian team that may have something to say about them. Those are the two teams I have getting to the finals. You see over my shoulder there, calendar is 2014, and first day of July means opening of the free agent season in the NBA. Now, of course, I chronicled last week how LeBron James told the Miami Heat he was going to opt out of his final 2 years of his contract and test free agent waters. Him and his other two cohorts of the Big Three, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, have also decided they're going to opt out of their contracts and test free agency. Now, personally, I don't think Dwayne Wade has a snowball chance in Phoenix of getting any kind of the big money he would think he would get. Chris Bosh, I don't know. There's always going to be a use for a big man, even though Chris Bosh has about as many big man skills as the late, great Gary Coleman. I don't think he can play in the paint. I think he's afraid of being in the paint. LeBron James, of course, is the key. But he wants a max deal. It's $22 million. He wants a significant pay bump from the 19 million he made with the Heat last 4 years. But people wonder what team is going to have enough to be able to give him that kind of money and build the kind of franchise around him to keep him in that elite level that has grown so accustomed to the last 4 years. Is it going to be Cleveland? Please. Cleveland's nowhere near that way. Their new European bred coach is not going to be able to bring the kind of talent to Cleveland right away. It's going to be the Lakers. Come on. Kobe Bryant is not going to stand for being a second banana, no matter how much he talks about wanting a new big three with him and Carmelo Anthony. Chicago, they just don't have. I mean, they're trying to make one big run at Carmelo Anthony. They have the pieces for a deep run. Melo might be the one piece they need. LeBron James would surely mess that up. So where does that leave him? Dallas, Houston? No, they're not gonna. They're not real serious contenders. What it's gonna do? It's gonna lead him back to Miami and a big raise. But the question here is that will LeBron James's big money power play, his cash grab, if you will, leave him with a depleted team? And yeah, he could carry Miami to 45, maybe 50 wins. He did it in Cleveland quite a few times. But is that going to get him in the finals every year? I don't think so. The fragile coalition, him, Wade, and Bosh, will get them through the weak Eastern Conference. But if it's just him, he's not going to go far. And then all of a sudden, the Kiss Cash, those paychecks are going to add more and more questions as if he was really an elite player. You know, I've never really had much of a feeling one way or the other about Jason Kidd, who is coaching the Brooklyn Nets in his first campaign after a 19-year distinguished NBA career. But I've always seen people who have been very, very big Jason Kidd fans or despise him. Me, I've been kind of in the middle. I think he had, at times great talent. I mean, he was a very ethereal point guard, always could run an offense. But I always thought he was just a little bit below the elite point guard status. But he survived. He was around for a well-traveled career with the Knicks, Nets, Mavericks, and Suns. And when he finished playing last year, went right into the coaching ranks. And the Brooklyn Nets started out slow, but they built momentum and played very well and got into the NBA Eastern Conference semifinals. But now, with the season being over and coaches shuffling about as they are wont to do, Jason Kidd wanted more power in Brooklyn. He wanted to be a director of player personnel, if you will, kind of either equal or superior to Billy King, who's the GM of the Nets. Well, the Nets aren't having any of it, and they turned him down flat. Now, all of a sudden, he's going to Milwaukee as their coach. No one said anything about what kind of role he's going to have other than being coach. And you have to wonder, Milwaukee. Did Jason Kidd realize that team won 15 games last year? They've got Jabari Parker, which, the fab freshman from Duke. But that team needs help. Lots of it. They're not so much woefully unprepared, but they're other than the one, as they call him, the Greek Freak that's playing there, that's not a very talented team. And you can tell that they're trying to make some sort of power, big, splash grab to get a big name that's going to keep the faithful from going, even further south on them. Because Milwaukee has really been that much of a playoff contender over the last, 20, 25 years. No, I take that back. Actually, Milwaukee got to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2001. But think about that. It's been a long time ago. And their new coach is going to be granted the task of trying to build up this team that doesn't have a lot of talent. Many people wonder, including your humble scribe, is it Jason Kidd going to realize that how good he had it in Brooklyn? Or is he actually one of the up-and-coming young coaches? Jury's still out. I don't think he can do it. And I'm going to shift gears to baseball right now. And though they've never been one of my favorite teams, Los Angeles Dodgers have, I think, the best pitcher in the majors, bar none. Detroit can talk about Justin Verlander or Max Scherzer, the last two Cy Young Award winners in the AL. New York Yankees have the young budding superstar Mas Tanaka, who is, I chronicled a few months ago, wondered openly if he was going to be that good of a pitcher, and he's proving he's worth his weight. Reds have a couple of great pitchers themselves in Homer Bailey and Johnny Cueto, but I think, and of course, you can't forget in San Francisco, Tim Lincecum, who just threw a no-hitter on Wednesday. But The best player, I think, in my opinion, is Clayton Kershaw. And Kershaw, you think about it, this guy is 25, and he has pitched in the majors for 5 years and has been basically getting better and better and better every year. I mean, not since the dominated pitcher of Oral Hershiser, going back Fernando Valenzuela. You can even say he's superior to them. Mike Marshall, great pitcher for the Dodgers in the mid-70s, way past him. You're looking at the level of, say, Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale. I'm talking about those type of elite pitchers. And Clayton Kershaw is still a young man. You think about it, the Dodgers are going to have to come out of the wallet pretty heavy because he's about to come up for free agency. And if you really think about it, Kershaw will be, in his early 30s when he comes around for another round of free agency in 5 to 6 years. You're talking about only a handful of teams that are ever going to be able to afford this cat. And the money ball that he's throwing right now, the great numbers. If you look at the numbers he's putting up year in, year out, strikeout. He just threw his first no-hitter this year. I'm thinking he's going to throw quite a few more no-hitters before it's all said and done. You can throw a bunch of names, but I'm going with Clayton Kershaw, who is, I think, the best young pitcher, if not the best pitcher, in the majors going. I'm going to flip the script a little bit this week, because usually with Phat Dap and Head Slap, I get a Phat Dap first, but I'm going to save that for last. The Head Slap of the week goes to someone I think is an absolute knucklehead. Texas Tech freshman defensive back Nigel Bethel II. Now I'm giving him a head slap because he's an idiot. Why? He just got kicked off the team for punching someone playing basketball. Not a love tap. He punched somebody in the face. Oh, did I mention that the person he punched in the face was Amber Battle, who is the Lady Red Raiders' leading scorer and rebounder from a year previous? Yeah, it's pretty bad when you're getting your ass kicked so bad by a girl that you're going to have to start swinging at her. A man that hits a woman is not a man in my eyes. It's a baby with a bottle. And the Texas Tech football team had no place for his actions. They kicked him off the team and told him he was felina non grata, cat not welcome. Told him pack his shit and go, which I think was justified. A man that hits a woman is not a man in my eyes. And someone who's a football player getting beat on by a girl just for playing basketball, and it's that poor of a sport, has no place in anywhere I would want to see. Bravo to Texas Tech for acting swift to get rid of this loser who wants to hit on a female. I got no use for him. Okay, the Phat Dap of the week goes to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, who went out of his way to make sure that Isaiah Austin, the center from Baylor, was properly recognized at last week's NBA draft in New York City. You may have heard that Austin was diagnosed with Marfan syndrome, which is a congenital heart disease, which basically shut down his career. He's basically been told he's not allowed to play basketball in any way, shape, or form, pretty much, or it'll kill him. So instead of being a lottery pick as he's expected to be, Isaiah Austin's career has been cut short. But Adam Silver made sure that he went out of his way to recognize Isaiah Austin by calling him up on stage and making sure that his name was heard. And he got a very big standing ovation from the crowd. Phat Dap to Silver for going out of his way to recognize someone who was given a bad break. And a Phat Dap to Austin too for keeping such a positive attitude in light of such a bad year. And with music coming up in the background, you know your time in Hoodwood is just about done. I'm doing the video version of the Hoodwood for the next 2 weeks to see how things go. Catch it every week here on UGAB Sports and also on YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, show topic suggestions, you can drop them a line at kj@blackbandproductions.com. And I'll try my best to answer them. You never know, I might just answer the letter on the show. I always like the letters. Keep them coming. If you have any other ideas, just throw them at me. I'm always willing to listen to them. I'll be back next week. It's every Tuesday on UGAB Sports. Until next time.